So with on-demand instances, you can choose whatever instance you want and it'll always be readily available. The downside being that the price is quite expensive. If you choose to use spot instances, you can actually get an instance for about 80 to 85% cheaper than the on-demand counterpart. So to better explain how to use spot instances, let's go ahead and demonstrate how to use them. I have a C4 large chosen here, and I have a low price and a high price. And this is the average cost for this particular system in this region. Now, in order for me to get one of these instances, I need to match the lowest price available in this region. Now, to make this simple as possible, what I like to do is I like to make the price higher than the highest end. And the reason I like to do this is because every 15 minutes, this average price can change depending on the amount of demand in the region for that particular instance type. So these prices fluctuate every 15 minutes. And I want to make sure that when I'm rendering, the system doesn't go down, because if the system I'm using all of a sudden becomes the lowest bid, then it's going to get terminated within 5 minutes. And I'm going to have to wait for a new one before finishing my render. While Barista will take care of that for me, it's still an annoyance and it adds time to my render. So instead, I can set it for maybe 2 cents, 2.5 cents, and I know that when that price fluctuates, that instance isn't going to go down. But what happens if we set it low? Well, we can set it in between these prices and it'll be just fine. The issue being that once it goes down, we're going to have to wait for it to come back. And on top of that, there may not even be instances available at the price that we asked for. So for instance, I'm going to go ahead and choose a penny and 2/10 for the price, which is going to be way low. And it takes just a second for this request to show up. And let's go ahead and also start one in between, say 0.0185. We'll start that one. Now, the way that spot instances show are quite a bit different than on-demand instances as well. As you can see, there's more to show here. For instance, here's the price that I set it, the maximum price I set it to. And keep in mind, I'm saying maximum price. That means even if you set it for 2 cents, it's going to go at the lowest price it possibly can. And it usually is going to be at this high end. But every 15 minutes, if it goes up in price, as long as your maximum price is above the price that it moves up to, your instance is going to stay where it is and not change. Now, as you can see with the first one we created at 0.012 cents or dollars, we don't have an instance. This is our instance status right here, the first one. The second one here is our request status. With spot requests, you have a request for the instance, and then you have the instance itself. The request is asking Amazon, hey, can I have this instance? And at this time, it's waiting for Amazon to have a particular instance at this price. And it doesn't have one, so we don't have an instance, and it's waiting. This other one that was in between the high and the low, we have an instance. There was one available at this price. Chances are we may see it go down within the next 15 minutes, depending on the demand from other people at this time, but it could stay up. So we have a running instance and it has been fulfilled. Now there's also going to be a chance that this shows pending, and usually that'll happen whenever there isn't even available systems. That means everyone in that region is already making use of the systems available and there are no more to use. And you have to wait for someone to come off them before you can get one. Now, it sounds fairly complicated, but one great rule of thumb to remember is just choose the instance or instances that you want and make sure that you set the price, maybe about 10% higher than the highest. And that way you can keep the instance up for a long period of time. Now, if you're going to do a render that's going to take quite some time, you might want to raise it a bit more than that. Just always remember that setting that max price is not the price you're paying at that very second. Now, if for some reason you need to shut it down, we can of course click this and it's going to cancel not only the request but also terminate the instance. But what if you can't do it from Barista? Well, we could go to the instances and we could terminate the instance, which it's already shutting down here, as we can see. But if that's all we do, the request is still active. And requests are active for 7 days. And if it can fulfill that request again after the instance is done shutting down, it will fill it once again. Now, in order to also cancel that request, we need to go here to Spot Requests in the EC2 dashboard and cancel the request. As we can see, state is open for this one, mainly because it hasn't finished canceling, but we'll go ahead and take advantage of this and cancel it from the dashboard. And as you can see, it also has the option to terminate the instance. So you can go straight to Spot Requests and cancel the request and the instance at the same time.